Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to World of Thunder Esports League coverage on Ultimate Dirt TV. I am Zach Newton, joined alongside Alex Robinson as we get ready to bring you Championship Sunday racing action, our final race of an abbreviated program this evening, as we will spread Championship Sunday out over 2 Sundays. It is the Grace Productions UMP Modifieds, and you see time trials well underway already, about 30 seconds left. Davin Cardwell currently quick time, but Blake Majulis, currently your points leader, is putting his lap time. He is going to plant himself in second. There you see girlfriend of Majulis, Tia Moppert, going to qualify a little closer to the bottom of the timesheet. Ethan Toder currently 35th. You see they're putting his time in. But Blake Majulis, Jacob Fields, first and second in that points race, and they are second and third on the timesheet. But Davin Cardwell, runner-up in the DirtFan.com Fixed Pro Late Models, currently quick time, and that is how they will finish, Alex. And Alex may be eating, actually, at the moment. He was grabbing some food. Didn't get the break we normally get. Davin Cardwell, Blake Majulis, Jacob Fields, Cole Henriksen, and Evan C., your top five. Jerry Flippo going to slot in sixth. 5 heats tonight for the Grace Productions UMP Modifieds. Top 3 transfer out of those. We line up the first one. It is Davin Cardwell in the 70 for Drew Hopkins Racing. On the pole outside of him, it's California IMCA Modified standout Jerry Flippo in the 13 for D1RT. Starting third is Logan Rourke in the 17. Outside of him, Hunter Parsons in the 0 for Ryko Motorsports. Jordan Mitchell in the 8 and Logan Rumsey, both Pennsylvania drivers, going to make up row number 3. Then Brian Johnson for Team Outlaw Motorsports in the 121 starts 7th. Dylan Gibbs to his outside out of New York in the 6th. And Carl Shackle out of Ohio in the 61, your final starter in this 9-car heat race. Again, 5 heat races, 8 laps the distance in each one. And it is time to pull the belts tight and go modified racing here at gorgeous Cedar Lake Speedway. Alex Robinson back with me. Alex, are you excited about some modified racing action?
Oh, I'm very excited, as it's just, another day at the racetrack, and if it's anything like the first race, well, it's going to be a real racy racetrack.
Absolutely. We saw some fireworks in that feature race. Davin Cardwell and eventual winner Ethan Toder battling over much of the distance of that race. Toder with a slide job that pushes up the racetrack onto the nose of Cardwell's machine, and the 23 never looked back. Cardwell, quick time already, looking to win a heat race and have a chance to avenge that upset in the first race, but now he's got Jerry Flippo to his outside and a couple drivers behind him that could give him a bit of a challenge as we are on the beans off of turn 4. UMP Modified action, the Grace Productions UMP Modifieds underway at Cedar Lake with Davin Cardwell leading into turn 1. Everybody on the high side of the racetrack early on. Jerry Flippo going to lose some ground to Cardwell. Cardwell looks like he is on a rail and certainly on a mission after that first race. He leads lap 1.
Davin Cardwell up where he's comfortable, up at the top. Jerry Flippo running that middle line with Rower running the bottom there as he's going to go to the bottom of Flippo. A little bit of a contact there, but as you said in the earlier race, they have lightened the load of the contact penalty. So these you can expect a little bit more rubbing as long as it still stays clean.
Yeah, if you keep the cars pointed the right way, a little bit of contact not going to hurt anybody. At least that's how race control is looking at it for tonight. Davin Cardwell out in front, starting to walk away from Jerry Flippo as Flippo has his hands full with the 17 machine of Logan Rourke. Hunter Parsons back there, currently the first man on the outside looking in. We are seeing a battle unfold here in the waning laps of heat race number 1 as it'll be 3 to go next time by.
Flippo and Rourke are battling for that second spot. You saw the 17 machine tap the wall a little bit, so he's trying to gain some ground, but that opens the door for Parsons and Mitchell, both trying to gain ground on the third and final transfer spot, and there might be 4 cars battling for second, so that's going to be fun to watch because 2 cars will be on the outside looking in.
Yeah, nobody battling with Davin Cardwell out in front of the pack. Jerry Flippo and Logan Rourke currently in second and third, but Hunter Parsons is back there, and he's going to look to do something about it. Flippo makes a mistake, and that's going to open the door to the inside. Rourke goes to the bottom of the racetrack. They make contact. Flippo gets in trouble. Parsons in trouble. It's just a mess in turn 4, but the white flag was out for Cardwell. We will finish this one. Davin Cardwell going to walk to a win after a whole mess of contact behind him. So Cardwell will win. Logan Rourke going to come home in second. Jordan Mitchell in third. But I'm not quite sure. I believe it was Rourke who initiated that contact. And even with the sort of relaxed rules, Alex, that result might not stand.
So we're going to have to watch and see if they put the hammer down on that one as we wait for our official results.
There you go. It stands. Logan Rourke comes home in second despite the contact with Jerry Flippo. Jordan Mitchell in third behind eventual winner Davin Cardwell. Those three go to the show. Everybody else to the alphabet soup. So that's Gibbs, Hunter Parsons, a whole bunch of other guys, Jerry Flippo included. As we line up heat race number 2 on the poles, Mr. Moneybags out of Asheville, New York. That's the 127 of D1RT's. Blake Majulis outside of him, D1RT's representative on the West Coast. That's Trevor Fitz out of California, one of the D1RT representatives on the West Coast at least.
Number 2, it's going to be the 84, also from D1RT. It's Clay Debin, and to the outside, the 66 of Josh Taylor.
Donnie Batiste in the 19, the Mid-South Dirt Slinger, is going to line up in 5th. Outside of him from DeMossville, Kentucky, it is the DeMossville Destroyer. For HRE and Newton Cattle Farms Racing, Ethan Toder in the 23T, your winner of the DirtFan.com Fixed Pro Late Models.
7th from Texas, it's Dylan Thomas. Outside in the 31, it's Cole Roberts. And rounding out the field in the 89, it is Alan Bergen.
8 laps the distance, top 3 of the show. Ethan Toder gets a big win earlier, but these cars, nothing like the late models. Never mind that these are open setups versus the fixed setups we ran earlier. So we will see what Toder can do with the kid gloves off in the setup department. Does he have anything for the big guns up at the front of this field? He's got Blake Majulis, Trevor Fitz, and Clay Debin to deal with, as well as J.R. Taylor and Donnie Batiste there in front of him, Alex, as we get ready to go green.
And in this heat race, you could have all 3 D1RT drivers as you're sitting there looking at the starting grid, 1, 2, and 3 D1RT. So can they all 3 of them make the feature event? We're finding out. Green flag is out. Majulis off to a great start as Majulis is up in front here. He's ahead in points as well, and he might lock it up as soon as he wins if he wins his heat race now. But he has Fitz and Taylor now battling with Clay Debin for that 3rd spot.
Yeah, J.R. Taylor and Ethan Toder, Donnie Batiste, all the non-D1RT guys in this heat race are really the ones who could do more to upset Majulis' chances. You got to think the D1RT under a little bit of direction to give Blake a little leeway as he works for a points championship. He's got J.R. Taylor back there currently in 3rd. Clay Debin going to look to the inside in turn 1 and 2, but there's nothing doing. Majulis is driven away from Trevor Fitz back there. Again, J.R. Taylor holding on to 3rd, but Clay Debin, Ethan Toder back there 4th and 5th.
And Blake Majulis, as either way, no matter who wins the points championship, it's going to be D1RT because the only 2 drivers that have a chance, it's Jacob Fields and Blake Majulis. Majulis closing in even closer now with 3 laps to go here. He's out in front of this one. Majulis, Fitz, and Taylor still holding on that 3rd spot, but Clay Debin and Ethan Toder are gaining some ground on Josh Taylor.
Dylan Thomas looks to the inside of Toder. That's your battle for 5th. Those guys racing for starting position in a consolation race right now. Out in front, though, Majulis is gone. He is all the way pretty much in Minnesota at this point. Out there in front of Trevor Fitz in 2nd. J.R. Taylor currently sitting in 3rd. Taylor may have something figured out here around Cedar Lake. Debin and Toder are going to go to the bottom. The white flag waves. It's going to be Blake Majulis winning this heat race in a walk. You see, it looks like Clay Debin throws a big slider there. J.R. Taylor going to lose that transfer spot. Ethan Toder comes home 5th. Dylan Thomas, Donnie Batiste, your final finishes. Cole Roberts and Alan Bergen either did not make the grid or did not cross the finish line, Alex.
So those guys who you said did not make the grid there. So Bergen coming home in 9th there, but Blake Majulis gaining another win here in the heat race. Trevor Fitz, Clay Debin, they're going on to the show. Josh Taylor, Ethan Toder, all going on to the vegetable soup, alphabet soup, as heat race number 3 is gritting up.
Vegetable soup. It's Jacob Fields on the pole this one, so we may have some fun in the feature if Fields can hold on to the heat race win. Outside of him, it's the 269 for Blue Groove Motorsports. That's James Grace.
Row number 2 on the inside from Pennsylvania in the 3. It is Mike Augustine. Outside, it'll be Ryder Cantillo in the 97.
Aaron Keel in the 41 and Ben Lewis in the 49 going to make up row number 3.
7th will be the 12 car from Mid-South Dirt Slingers. It's Brendan Weeks. Outside will be Trevor Mattingly in the 45, and rounding out the field, it'll be Steven Turbeville.
So we got 9 cars in this heat race. Top 3 transfer 8 laps the distance. You guys know the drill here. It's Championship Sunday. And keep an eye on that 007 machine. He is competing for a championship, and he would love to start at least as close to Blake Majulis as possible. Majulis has already pinned down the outside starting position on the front row of this with his win in heat race number 2. Now his D1RT teammate Jacob Fields is going to look to do the same thing.
And 8 points are on the line for heat race wins here, with those two separated by, well, going into heat races, they were separated by 30 points. So Jacob Fields really needs to win a heat race here to even have a chance going into the A main event to win the points.
Absolutely. We're going to keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on James Grace to his outside. Mike Augustine, an up-and-coming driver, in third, has had some success in the UMP modified division here. We'll see what he can do as he's going to look to the, gets way down on the bottom of turn 4. Kind of got a little bit, tried to start early there maybe, but Jacob Fields is going to lead as they come off of turn 2. He's got that 007 machine pointed forward.
As you see, Jacob Fields going to slide up in front of James Grace. James Grace holding on that second spot, going to try and go to the inside. Thinks better of it. He's going to go run the same exact line as that 007. Going to sneak into the bottom of him there. Not going to get the run, though, as James Grace still has that second spot. But look at Cantillo and Augustine battling it out for third.
Ryder Cantillo currently in that final transfer spot. James Grace in second. Jacob Fields in first. I thought that James Grace, when he got alongside Fields, he had the car postured like he was going to run the cut down line, but he just never drove it off the bottom of the corner. He stayed with Fields. Fields' momentum around the high side gave him the advantage. Cantillo in that Cade Dillard wrap. I believe he's a crew member on Cade Dillard's real-life race vehicles, running that race wrap as an homage to the boss man. They're sitting in third. James Grace, the green filling in the transfer Oreo.
Jacob Fields still out in front right now. He's running that high side. He's starting to run away from James Grace. James Grace in second has a hornet's nest between Cantillo and Augustine. Augustine on the outside looking in, but he still has a few laps to gain some ground and possibly get a transfer spot.
Sand falling out of the hourglass, though. Brennan Weeks back there behind Augustine in that 69 machine. Got a very nice run going. Out in front, though, it's Jacob Fields, James Grace, and Ryder Cantillo continuing to lead popsicle sticks in the air.
Jacob Fields still out in front. You see Cantillo getting a run on James Grace right now. Grace has got to do a good line here as he's going to run that midline. Cantillo goes to the top. White flag is in the air.
Cantillo subscribing to the ideology that a fast race car is a loose race car as he is throwing that thing into turn 3. He's going to go to the bottom and slide up the racetrack on James Grace. Grace runs the cut down line. They'll drag race down the front straightaway. Unofficially, James Grace second, Ryder Cantillo third, Mike Augustine the first man out in fourth. We will go to our official results to confirm that and see exactly where everybody landed here. And it is James Grace coming home in second over Ryder Cantillo. Jacob Fields, your winner. You can see just how close that race was for second and third. Augustine Weeks, Turboville, Keel, Lewis, and Trevor Mattingly going to go to the alphabet soup coming up in just a couple minutes as we line up heat race number 4 of 5. And on the pole, it's the 101 of Cole Hendrickson. Outside of him, the 75 of Benji Killian.
We're number 2 on the inside from Mid-South Dirt Slingers. In the 92, it is Corey Austin. Outside in the 777 from Indiana, it's Jack Ritz.
Team 5, Shane Yates, going to line up 5th in the 11. Outside of him, it's Kevin Williamson in the 5, starting 6th.
7th, it'll be the 26 from $1 Million Motorsports, Eric Sculf. Outside $1 Million Motorsports teammates, it's Jennifer Hans, and rounding out the field will be Trey Murphy.
So 3 cars transfer, 8 laps the distance. We've got, I believe, everybody here. There you see the 9th car going to join the field. He gridded just a little late, maybe having some connectivity, mechanical type issues there. But on the front row, it's Cole Hendrickson in the 101, Benji Killian. They're going to bring us to green, and this one should be interesting, Alex.
Yes, as this is one of those heat races. There's a lot of wild cards in this heat race, so anything can happen. Shane Yates, just won the Power IE Superstock season here at World of Thunder. He's looking to add on to a great week and possibly make the feature of this after this heat race.
We'll see what he can do as the green flag waves. Full throttle performance entry for Cole Hendrickson gets out in front. Corey Austin going to look to the inside of Benji Killian down the back straightaway. I don't think he's quite there yet, but Jack Wrights would like to be there. He's in 4th on the outside looking in. We come to the flag stand, complete lap 1. It is Hendrickson leading, Killian and Austin currently holding down those transfer spots. But Jack Wrights is all over the back of Austin for 3rd.
Corey Austin holding on to that third spot right now, but you see Wrights going to the inside of Austin, trying to get the run, but that top side just looks real fast right now as they're all going to the top side now. Austin ducks down there on the straightaway. Everyone's running that slider line, though, in 3 and 4, as that's something you really didn't see throughout the first heat races, is a slider line coming in already.
Absolutely. Trying to extend the straightaway, get yourself a little more momentum, is now Austin going to cut down Diamond off of turn 2 and look to the inside of Killian. He goes to the bottom in 3 and 4, but he's not quite there. It's going to open the door for Jack Wrights and the 777 machine down the front straightaway. They are about a 3-way dance with Kevin Williamson in the 7 back there. He's looking to get involved in that as Wright's now going to go to the bottom of the racetrack and look to the inside of Austin for third.
A battle for third heating up again as you see Wrights to the inside, Austin on the outside. They're side by side in the turn 1 and 2 there. And you see Benji Killian got to be careful right now as he's in that second spot, but these two cars are dragging him in as he might be one of those 2-for-1 deals if he might be on the outside looking in.
Cole Hendrickson loving all this stuff happening behind him. It's letting him take the kids to Gapplebee's. He's way out in front. Benji Killian trying to hold off Corey Austin. We come to the white flag this time by.
White flag in the air. Hendrickson out in front. Benji Killian in second as the battle for third still heats up. Wrights to the inside. Austin to the outside. In other news, Cole Hendrickson going to win heat race number 4. The battle for third, though, Killian going to come home in second. And it looks like Corey Austin will hold on by a narrow margin for that third place finish.
So good run for Cole Hendrickson. That's the kind of effort you want to see if you're the full throttle performance brass there. That 101 machine way out in front at the end of that heat race. As we go to our official results, it is Hendrickson, Killian, and Austin going to transfer to the show. And then Wrights, Williamson, Yates, Murphy, Scalf, and Hans will have to go through the alphabet soup in order to stay alive here on Championship Sunday, Part 1. We line up heat number 5, and it's Victory Lane Racing's Evan C., the winner of the Big Power Eye Midget Show last night. Outside of him, D1RT driver John Ruggiero Jr. in the 44.
Number 2 on the inside, the 69 of Corey Whitworth, and outside in the 30, it'll be Eric York.
It is Tia Moppert out of New York in the 14th for D1RT Racing, lining up in 5th outside of her, the Todd father. It's the 23 of Todd Hook.
7th, it'll be the 18 from Texas. It's Bryson Daffrin. Outside in the 20, it is Chase Hardy.
So the Winchester Wildman starting all the way in the back of the field. Tia Moppert and Todd Hook make up row number 3. A pretty solid front row here with Evan C. and John Ruggiero Jr. And sandwiched in the middle, Corey Whitworth and Eric York. That's your 8-car field, top 3 transfer, 8 laps the distance. This one should be a lot of fun, Alex.
And one thing to take note, Tia Moppert was quick time in practice. So she still has a quick machine. She didn't qualify well, but I think she just wants to pass a lot of cars and have herself some battles, as she has about 3 cars to pass for a transfer.
So keep an eye on her there in the back of the pack in that purple, white, and black number 14 machine for D1RT Racing. As we get ready to go green, you'll see the field bunch up down the back straightaway. Evan C. on the pole for Victory Lane Racing. D1RT representative John Ruggiero Jr. out of Carolina going to start to his outside as we are on the beans off of turn 4. This one is underway, and Ruggiero Jr. may cede second to Corey Whitworth as they work down the front straightaway. Whitworth gets a run to the bottom off of turn 2. He gets a great run off the bottom of turn 2. He's going to move into a battle with Evan C. for the lead as they work through 3 and 4, coming to complete lap 1.
As we are 3 wide there momentarily for that lead position. Evan C., Whitworth, and Ruggiero Jr. all battling it out for the lead position. You see those 3 are in transfer spots right now. They are taking over this race already as Todd Hook and the rest of the field are losing a lot of ground as C is still in control of this heat.
Evan C. up in the fluff through 1 and 2, gets a great run down the back straightaway. The top 3 single file. You can see Todd Hook starts to close in as he does battle with Tia Moppert back there for 4th. Chase Hardy off the track already. Not the night he was looking for after a pretty good run in the Pro Late Models earlier, but now it's all Evan C. out front as he starts to pull away.
Evan C., after battling with Whitworth and Ruggiero Jr., he's starting to pull away. Whitworth in second right now. Ruggiero trying to make a run after him, trying to go to the inside. Evan C. hits the wall. That's going to open the door for these 3 cars. There's 3 wide contact between Whitworth and Ruggiero Jr. as there goes C up into the wall again. Yes, he lost not 1 but 2 positions here as now they're 3 wide once again.
Right side romance, courtesy of Whitworth, delivered to Evan C. Wisconsin this evening is for lovers, it turns out. Corey Whitworth takes the lead with Evan C. battling to the outside of Ruggiero Jr. He's going to hold on to second. Ruggiero Jr. now has his hands full with the 23T of Todd Hook back there. The Todd father battling for a transfer spot now as he looks all over the tail of Ruggiero trying to find something. Meanwhile, out in front, still Corey Whitworth. White flag is out. We've got one to run.
Whitworth out in front after going 3 wide there with C and Ruggiero. Todd Hook on the outside looking in. He has one more turn to make a move. I think he lost too much momentum coming out of that turn. He's going to try and make a move. But Corey Whitworth's going to win heat race number 5 with C in second. And it looks like John Ruggiero Jr. going to hold on to that third transfer spot.
So Ruggiero Jr. third, Evan C. second, and Corey Whitworth going to bring home the top spot and the bacon. He will start 5th. In our A main, that'll come up in a few minutes. Right now, though, we line up our first race to the alphabet soup. It's the D main. As we look at our official results, Corey Whitworth, Evan C. and Ruggiero Jr. again transfer over Hook, Moppert, Daffern, York, and Chase Hardy, the only car who did not finish that heat race. Now we line up the D main. We look at the grid assembling on the front straightaway, Alex.
As you see, 4 cars are going to go on to the C main. Starting on the pole will be the 41 of Aaron Keel, outside the 21 of Trey Murphy.
Eric York in the 30 in the lineup on the inside of row number 2. Outside of him, starting 4th, Ohio's Carl Shackle.
Row number 3 on the inside, the 31 of Cole Roberts. Outside, it'll be Ben Lewis in the 49.
Eric Scal for $1 Million Motorsports going to line up in 7th. Outside of him out of Winchester, Virginia, it's the Winchester Wildman, the king of B-Mains. He calls himself Chase Hardy.
9th, it'll be the 27 of Logan Rumsey. Outside, it'll be Alan Bergen in the 89.
Trevor Mattingly and Jennifer Haunt's going to make up row number 6 of this 12-car field. Again, 4-wheel transfer, 10 laps the distance. Caution laps do count. We had several cars that did not make the grid. So we're going to have a 7-car field, 4 will still transfer. And we get ready to line this up. This is going to be interesting, Alex. Yeah, Alex Robinson brings the witty banter. He's probably still watching the Eagles lose. It's Aaron Keel on the pole in that black number 41. Trey Murphy to his outside. The green flag wave starts a little bit of an adventure, but we're underway in this one. Eric York going to go to the bottom of the racetrack there in the 89 machine, back in the 3rd behind Keel and Murphy. Again, top 4 transfer. Ben Lewis is looking for some action, a former fixed UMP setup winner on Wednesday nights. He's now got his hands full back there in the middle of the pack as he's got that nose parked right up under Eric York as we've got some contact between the 13 and the 50. Aaron Keel starts to pull away over Trey Murphy. York holds on to 3rd, but Ben Lewis is coming.
Hey, don't talk trash about my birds. They're winning right now. But Eric York in that 3rd spot. Ben Lewis, his first World of Thunder esports race was that fixed race. And to say in your first race you win the race, that's a great accomplishment right now as he's battling for a transfer spot. But you see Jennifer Hans gaining some ground right now, trying to get into that transfer spot as well. Eric York, Aaron Keel, and Trey Murphy, those 3 haven't dealt with anything, but here comes Mattingly trying to pull York into it.
Trevor Mattingly in the 13 on the bottom of the racetrack. Going to get some right side romance there to Ben Lewis. Bore 4th. Eric York still holds on to 3rd as Lewis goes to the inside. Slides up the racetrack in front of Mattingly. He's back in 4th where he feels like he belongs. But Trey Murphy going to continue to lead. Aaron Keel in that black racing vehicle is holding on to 2nd.
Ben Lewis trying to battle here as Trevor Mattingly was battling with him. You saw it earlier this week. Oh, man, a little bit of contact there. And Trevor Mattingly going to go into the wall after getting in the back of Ben Lewis. That's going to cost him some ground. Ben Lewis holds on to the 4th spot as he's going for more, and he's to the inside of Eric York. Gets a good run, and he's going to take over that 3rd spot.
Mattingly meets concrete in 3 and 4, and it costs them big on the racetrack. Trey Murphy leads as we've got 3 to go. Aaron Keel, Ben Lewis, and Eric York currently holding under transfer spots. But look out. Contact between York and Lewis. Trevor Mattingly is going to get back up there. He gets a nose from Hans as they get into 3 after giving one to York down the back straightaway. This is unfolding in a very spicy way.
If you're Trey Murphy and Aaron Keel, you haven't had to deal with any problems. Ben Lewis, though, trying to gain some ground, but look at the battle for the transfer spot. Mattingly, York, both trying to fight for ground that's not there. Oh, man, there's a lot of contact there, and Jennifer Hahn's going to hop into the transfer spot with white flag in the air.
High Century for Jennifer Hahn. She holds on to fourth. If she can do it this time by, she's into the show. Trey Murphy with some mechanical issues, but holds on to win over Aaron Keel and Ben Lewis. Hans does get in. Man, York has got to, and Mattingly got to be fuming after the end of that one. Eric Scalf going to come home in sixth position. But again, your top four set. They go to the C main. We go to our official results in this one. So we roll the session. You get your official results. Trey Murphy, Aaron Keel, Ben Lewis, and Jennifer Hans headed to the show. York, Scalf, Mattingly, Shackle, Roberts, Hardy, Rumsey, and Bergen going to transfer to the trailer. We get ready to line up our C main. Top four will transfer to the B, 12 laps to the distance. And there you see on the pole, Tia Moppert in the 14 out of New York for D1RT. Outside of her, another D1RT driver from across the country in California. It's IMCA modified driver Jerry Flippo in the 13.
Row number 2 on the inside from Texas in the 03. It's Dylan Thomas. Outside, it's Turbo. It's Steven Turbeville.
Shane Yates for Team 5 in the 11. Your Power Eye E-Superstock Series champion. Going to line up fifth. Outside him, the 18 of Tejas Bryson Defford.
7th, it'll be Team Outlaw Motorsports 121 of Brian Johnson. Outside, the 19 of Donnie Batiste from Mid-South Third Slingers.
It's going to be Trey Murphy in the 21, going to line up in ninth starting spot. Outside of him, Aaron Keel in the 41.
Rounding out the field in the 11th spot, it'll be Ben Lewis in the 49, and 12th, it's the $1 Million Princess, Jennifer Hans in the 11.
Ooh, here comes an interesting narrative. The two lady racers in the World of Thunder are currently Jennifer Hans and Tia Moppert, both in this C main. Hans going to have her work cut out for her starting 11th. Moppert's on the pole. Tia's going to have to hold off Jerry Flippo, real-life driver who we've seen put in some impressive runs in that number 13 machine. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch and see what happens. Top four transfer, 12 laps the distance. Caution laps do count, so keep an eye on that as the top four will go to the B main. It's Moppert, Flippo, Thomas, and Turbeville, your top four as we come to the green flag.
Tia Moppert, Jerry Flippo on the outside. Again, look at that pace truck. Take us to the green flag here as Moppert gets a good start on Flippo. There goes Thomas to the inside of Flippo. He's trying to take over that second spot. He gets a good run. He was side by side with Moppert there at the exit of turn 1 and 2 as the battle for the lead continues to go as Thomas goes again.
Moppert going to hold the lead as they come to the line. Jerry Flippo right in her hip pocket as they work down the back straightaway. Thomas to the inside, back to third. He's relegated. Flippo now sets his sights on the lead. His teammate Tia Moppert holding it, but Moppert looking very strong out there in front. She gets a little loose maybe going into turn 1, and that's going to cost her a little bit of momentum off of 2, and Flippo closes the gap already small.
Tia Moppert out in front. Jerry Flippo goes to the inside of Moppert. He's trying to make a move. That bottom side's still there as you see a lot of cars getting there. Side by side, Flippo, Moppert, T1RT right there, 1 and 2. Moppert gets into the wall. That's going to open the door for Flippo as he's side by side with her at the line.
Tia going to meet the concrete in turn 3 and 4. Going to cost her a ton of momentum. Jerry Flippo working the bottom. They're 3 wide for the lead off of 2. Almost. Dylan Thomas can't quite get there. Moppert going to be relegated to second by Flippo. Flippo cuts across the nose. Moppert can't make the cut down stick. And now she's got Dylan Thomas underneath her looking for the silver medal position. Meanwhile, Ben Lewis back there in fourth, holding down the final transfer spot as these three continue to battle for the top 2 positions.
Brian Johnson right now on the outside looking in with Bryson Daffron. Brian Johnson, we saw him make the Alphabet Soup run in the fixed Pro late models. He's trying to do it again, but he's got to get past Ben Lewis and Bryson Daffron to make it onto the B main as you see the top 3 cars are all spreading out right now, but there's Moppert and Thomas still side by side.
Yeah, good battle here for second as Jerry Flippo starts to run away with this one and hide. Dylan Thomas in second. You see Turbeville off the pace down the back straightaway. Moppert can go to the bottom of the racetrack in 3 and 4. She's going to hit it into those buried Uke tires there. You saw the front of that vehicle bounce just a little bit. That's going to cost her. Now she slides up a lane and moves into the middle of the racetrack as they work off of turn 2. Still trying to catch Dylan Thomas for second.
Dylan Thomas running that high side. There's your transfer spot. Ben Lewis right there, but he has Bryson Daffern right on the back bumper of him. There's Daffern up top now. He's trying to make a run, but Ben Lewis is looking strong there. As there's a good run by Daffern. But is it two?
Daffern came off the corner there hard as we come to 2 to go. It's going to be Flippo looking comfortable out in front. The real battle here is the one for this final transfer spot. Ben Lewis has it. Bryson Daffern wants it. Daffern going to go to the inside as Moppert gets into the wall. It doesn't affect this battle. She's able to get that car righted and pointed forward. White flag is out. Daffern to the inside, going to throw another slider. Almost does make contact, in fact, with Lewis, and that's going to cost him. He's going to throw maybe another big one here. Don't think he's got the momentum after the contact. It's Jerry Flippo, Dylan Thomas, Tia Moppert, and Ben Lewis, your top 4. Lewis, a World of Thunder winner in the fixed modifieds, is now looking to make a run into the A main. He's come from the D, and now he is through the C as we go to your official results for this C main. It is Jerry Flippo, Dylan Thomas, Tia Moppert, and Ben Lewis. Your top 4, Daffern, Johnson, Hans, Batiste, Murphy, Turbeville, Keel, and Yates going to transfer to the trailer. That will do it for their nights of racing here in the World of Thunder on Championship Sunday. And we get ready to line up our B main.
Starting on the pole, it'll be the 6 of Dylan Gibbs outside the 66 of Josh Taylor.
Pennsylvania Hot Shoe, Mike Augustine, and the 15J going to line up in third. Outside of him, the 777 machine of Indiana's Jack Wrights.
Row number 3 on the inside, the 23 of Todd Hook. Outside from Ryko Motorsports, the 5 of Hunter Parsons.
Ethan Toder in the 23T for Newton Cattle Farms Racing, and HRE going to line up on the inside of row number 4. Outside of him, the Double Deuce of Brendan Weeks and the Mid-South Dirt Slingers.
9th, it'll be the 7 of Kevin Williamson outside. The winner of the C main from D1RT, it's Jerry Flippo.
Dylan D. Thomas in the 3 going to line up in 11th. Outside of him, the $1 million... Oh, Brett, what was the nickname? What was it? Oh, Brett dropped the ball on me. It's Tia Moppert for D1RT out of New York going to line up in 12th. And then on the field, shotgun, the 49 of Ben Lewis. Man, my producer really letting me down there. You know, that 24... What's the time difference, Brett? I'm on the East Coast of the United States. What time is it in Australia? It's a 16-hour difference. So our various levels of sleeplessness catch up with us here on Ultimate Dirt TV. From time to time, you will hear it. So Dylan Gibbs and J.R. Taylor are going to bring the field to green with Mike Augustine. You got the Todd father, Ethan Toder, Jerry Flippo, Tia Moppert. Stacked field in this one, Alex. We get ready to go 14 laps, top 7 transfer.
As you see Dylan Gibbs off to a good start. You see mid-pack there. I don't know who that was, but I think it might have been Jerry Flippo or Dylan Thomas there. Half asleep on the start there, but Gibbs out in front right now. Taylor and Hook side by side. They're 3 wide, almost 4 wide. Mid-pack there, all trying to fight for valuable spots.
Well, it's like the day of his daughter's wedding. Todd Hook around the bottom of the racetrack with Ethan Toder right beside him. The 223 machines go door to door down the straightaway. Hook's going to get pinched as Toder pushes up the racetrack just a little bit. He's going to hold on to the spot. He's up to 3rd, battling to the inside of Mike Augustine. Out in front, Dylan Gibbs and J.R. Taylor still side by side. This field has not given any inclination that they're going to single file out and behave themselves.
Absolutely not. As you see, they're 3 wide again there. Look how widespread that 3 wide is. For a shorter length track, that is wide enough to go 3-4 wide, and they're showing it here. A lot of beating and banging going on side by side now. They're 3 wide again between Flippo and I think Weeks and maybe, I don't know who else.
Yeah, it's bedlam back there, Alex. It's tough to say exactly who's involved. J.R. Taylor currently leading, Ethan Toder in 2nd, but Gibbs and Augustine are back there battling. Hunter Parsons is back there battling. First yellow flag we've seen in these consolation races as we go to an Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay. We are watching this instant replay, trying to see exactly what happened here. You see Todd Hook going to get dumped there by Dylan Thomas. He collects Ben Lewis hard into the outside wall. You hate to see that for Todd, and a sim racing veteran. I remember racing with Todd back on R Factor, Alex. He's been around for a while, and you hate to see him go for a ride like that.
That's who the other car was that was going 3 wide that I just couldn't put my finger on the name.
Well, that's an unfortunate way for you to find that out as well, as he is going to tangle with Ben Lewis there. Gets almost gets Kevin Williamson, gets the nose of the 14 of Tia Moppert, and that's going to be the end of his racing program and his World of Thunder season here at Cedar Lake. An unceremonious end for Todd Hook. As we go back to racing action, J.R. Taylor continues to lead under caution over Ethan Toder, Dylan Gibbs, Mike Augustine. Parsons writes in weeks your final three transfer drivers as we go double file and get ready to get this one back underway.
And you see caution laps counting. So it's going to be another one shorter-lived consolation race as Tia Moppert and Todd Hook both out of tonight's B main. So 11 cars on the track, 7 will transfer. So to let the battles begin as Taylor brings us to the green flag again, and we are back underway here in the B main as you see side-by-side action all throughout there as there's a little beating and banging again, but these guys are keeping it clean. 3 wide there momentarily as they're still actually 3 wide for the third spot.
Jerry Flippo going to get pinched. He's going to fall back to 9th for a second, battle back into 8th. As they go to the high side, he's going to spin Wrights. Wrights gets it righted, but Flippo now back to 9th, currently 2 spots out of a transfer as laps are winding down. Josh Taylor, JR we call him, continues to lead Ethan Toder, Hunter Parsons, and Mike Augustine. Brendan Weeks rounds out your top 5 in the 69 machine. But Flippo, like a man on a mission. Ben Lewis currently in 9th, going to get picked off as Flippo works his way to the bottom of Dylan Gibbs.
Jerry Flippo to the inside, but look at Ben Lewis. He's still trying to make a move right now. He's trying to run that top side, but it looks like Dylan Gibbs there going to cut him off. That's going to open the door for Flippo. He's going to go to the top side. Lewis going to go to the bottom of Gibbs. He's trying to pass him, but right now Jerry Flippo in the 7th spot.
Jerry Flippo into that final transfer spot, currently trying to chase down Dylan Wilson, Dylan Thomas, currently trying to chase him down, but out in front, J.R. Taylor continues to lead. White flag is in the air. Ethan Toder is going to run in second as we see Toder look to the low side off of turn 2. He's not quite close enough to make the pass. Taylor going to go to the bottom, take away the big slider line. Toder runs the top side, but that's how they're going to finish 1 and 2. It's J.R. Taylor, Ethan Toder, Rykos, Hunter Parsons, Mike Augustine, Dylan Thomas, Brendan Weeks, and Jerry Flippo. Flippo getting your final transfer spot here in the B main. Those guys go to the big show, and we will take a look at your official results here. In that B main, it's J.R. Taylor, Toder from Kentucky, Hunter Parsons for Ryko Motorsports, Mike Augustine, Dylan Thomas, Brendan Weeks, and Jerry Flippo transferring. Alex, Ben Lewis, Kevin Williamson, Jack Wrights, Dylan Gibbs, Todd Hook, and Tia Moppert going to transfer to the trailer. Their night's done. Their World of Thunder season done. And for 22 drivers, we are about to go A-Main Racing. And for 2 drivers, we are going to race for a championship. But first, we'll take a quick commercial break while the drivers do a little track prep, run this place in, get ready to pull the belts tight one final time. It's the Grace Productions UMP Modified Series Finale, Championship Sunday, Part 2. Next week, Part 1 concludes in just a few minutes on Ultimate Dirt TV. And we're back here. It's feature time in the Grace Productions UMP Modified Series from Cedar Lake Speedway in New Richmond, Wisconsin. Zach Newton and Alex Robinson going to walk you from back to front through your A main grid. And here we go, row number 11 on the outside. It's California's Jerry Flippo for D1RT. Inside of him, Mid-South Dirt Slingers number 69. It's Brendan Weeks.
20th, it'll be Dylan T.D. Thomas. In the 03, inside the 3 from Pennsylvania, it's Mike Augustine.
Hunter Parsons for Ryco Motorsports in the 0, going to line up in 18th. Inside of him, starting 17th, the 23T of DeMossville Destroyer, Ethan Toder for Newton Cattle Farms Racing in HRE.
16th, it'll be J.R. Taylor in the 66. Inside from D1RT, it's John Ruggiero Jr.
The 92 of Corey Austin for the Mid-South Dirt Slinger is going to line up on the outside of row number 7. Inside of him, the 97 of Ryder Cantillo.
12th, it'll be the 84 from D1RT, Clay Debin, and inside the 8 car from Pennsylvania, Jordan Mitchell.
Victory Lane Racing driver Evan C. going to line up in the 33 on the outside of row number 5. Inside of him, the 75 of Benji Killian from Texas.
Sorry, where are we? My screen
James Grace.
8th, the 269 of James Grace. 7th, it'll be Trevor Fitz.
Logan Rourke going to line up 6 in the 17. Inside of him, the 69 of Corey Whitworth.
4th, the 101 of Cole Henriksen. 3rd, it'll be the 007 of Jacob Fields.
Starting on the outside of row number 1, it's the 127 of Asheville, New York's Blake Majulis on the pole. Davin Cardwell, the Tennessee Tornado, in the 70 as we get ready to go feature racing in the Grace Productions UMP Modifieds. I believe 40 laps will be the distance, and we will run them all 50 laps the distance on Championship Sunday. And Davin Cardwell going to bring the field to green as we bunch them up in turn 3, and we're on the beans in 4. We are green flag racing for the final time this season in the Grace Productions UMP Modifieds. Davin Cardwell gets a great start. He's out in front. He and Majulis going to go to the high side, but Cardwell gets hard into the turn 2 wall. That's going to bunch the field back up after a great start by Cardwell as we're 3 wide for 4th. Jacob Fields looking underneath Blake Majulis for 2nd.
Blake Majulis already has some battles as he's not in the front, which is really surprising. Davin Cardwell running that top side. Blake Majulis going to the bottom now in 3 and 4. He's sliding up, running that slider line. As you see, the 17 of Logan Rourke just got into the wall there, and he lost a few positions.
Yeah, Logan Rourke with a great heat race run, but fairly new to World of Thunder. We'll see if he can stay up there and contend with the likes of Trevor Fitz, Jacob Fields, Cole Henriksen, Majulis, and Cardwell. Currently running in 7th, but battling with Benji Killian, and he may lose that 7th spot. As you see a big slide across traffic there from Trevor Fitz in the 28. He's into the wall down the back straightaway.
But still out in front, it's that 70 machine of Davin Cardwell. Blake Majulis in 2nd, and his second place points in the 007. Jacob Fields in that 3rd, but he has company with Henriksen and Whitworth right behind him.
Good racing here on back, but everybody starts to single file out in the top 5. Everybody from Cardwell back to Whitworth running that high side. And then you see Trevor Fitz there running the high side as well. The only person deviating really is you get farther back in the pack. You see Logan Rourke gets into the wall there in 3 and 4. Evan C. on his way to the front as he works inside of Benji Killian. That's currently your battle for 7th.
Evan C. again, another guy that looks really comfortable on a certain line of the track, and it's the bottom here tonight. He's been comfortable in his heat race. He ran the bottom as well, and Evan C. trying to make some moves right now as he's in that 9th spot.
Yeah, Dylan Yeager talked about how a lot of people don't think the bottom is the fast way around Cedar Lake. As Benji Killian gets squirrely down the back straightaway, nearly takes Evan C. out with him. He's going to get that thing righted, but nearly a mess there for the 33 on the bottom of the racetrack. C continues to work. He's up to 5th now. He is just passing people, rolling the bottom here at Cedar Lake.
And then one person to look out for as he's up to 14th right now. Caution in the air. It's going to be Ryder Cantillo in that 97 machine.
Yeah, you saw that MB Customs machine get a little loose there in turn 3. May have had some help, but he goes around there in turn 3. You saw it in the live picture as we go to our Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay. This is a good drone shot here. You see him battling with James Grace. Rourke and Devin going to make some contact, and I think Rourke may overcorrect here. He gets down into those Uke tires, is hard on the brakes trying to get that thing righted, and Cantillo has nowhere to go. There you see Ethan Toder, Jerry Filippo going to dodge that. Hunter Parsons not quite so lucky as he gets hard into the tail of Cantillo's machine and then collects another car on the outside there. That's our first Ultimate Dirt TV Instant Replay, first caution flag of this A main. We're going to line this field back up and go back to feature racing. But you hate to see that kind of rough luck for that number 97 machine. Davin Cardwell continues to lead 1/5 of the way through this one. You see the track really starting to slick over. This is going to get fun as we work through this, Alex.
As it's one of those things, this track, I've noticed, when it gets slick, it's still really racy. A lot of guys running that top, that bottom side. But that middle line might be also a place to go. As you see there on the exit of the turns, it's still pretty good in moisture there.
Yeah, you definitely see a lot of fresh racetrack through the middle on exit. The bottom, though, pretty much slicked off all the way around, as has the top side. Cardwell going to get another good restart as we're on the loud pedal down the front straightaway. Cardwell and Majulis both go to the top side. Majulis going to make a little contact there, but they're going to clean it up. Off of turn 2, Jacob Fields going to look to the outside of his D1RT teammate for the silver medal position. Down there on the bottom of the racetrack is the 69. You see that yellow machine of Corey Whitworth. Another caution already waving. So we slow the field down. You see the pace truck come on from the turn 2 pit exit here at Cedar Lake, and it's Dylan Thomas that brings out this caution flag. You see Ruggiero Jr. and Toder make some contact back there. Dylan Thomas going to stick his nose to the inside of Toder, checks up, and I believe that's Mike Augustine going to turn the 03 machine of Dylan Thomas to bring out our second caution flag. 3 wide there on turn 3. Something's got to give. It was Dylan Thomas, but Mike Augustine going to get too deep into turn 3 and take Dylan Thomas out of the action and bring out our caution flag. Our producer points out some contact there. Augustine gets into the back of J.R. Taylor. And you see Augustine's nose get flicked down to the inside there in front of the 13 machine. And he runs out of real estate between himself and Dylan Thomas. And Thomas, the unfortunate recipient of the dump and run. So you can see it once again here from high above Cedar Lake Speedway. We go on board there. You see Augustine get into the back of Taylor. This is from the inside. And then Augustine going to come down hard across the nose of Jordan Mitchell and then into the back of Dylan Thomas. So that's going to bring out your second caution flag. Field unable to get themselves sorted out. So we will line them back up here. 13 laps in the books of 50 in the Grace Productions UMP Modifieds. And Alex, Blake Majulis, according to your math at the break, may have already wrapped up a points championship here in the UMP Modifieds.
Yes, he came in before heat races after his qualifying points. He came into heat races with a 30-point lead. They both won their heat race, so it's still a 30-point difference. And there's no possible way for the 007 to gain 30 points on Blake Majulis by the end of tonight, even if Blake Majulis would end up in that 22nd spot.
So Blake Majulis will win your Grace Productions UMP Modifieds Points Championship with a phenomenal performance in this division this season. But he would like to sweeten that deal by winning another feature here at Cedar Lake. But Davin Cardwell, who had a party spoiled for him earlier, your runner-up in the DirtFan.com Fixed Pros, would love to spoil the party for Majulis, and currently he's doing just that as we bunch the field up. Single file restart coming, Alex.
Davin Cardwell, though, he's the man to beat tonight. As you see, he ran really well this season in the UMPs as well, just didn't show up as we're back green, and he's running that top side. Majulis touches the wall a little bit. That's going to open the door for Jacob Fields there for momentarily, but you see Majulis going to run that bottom, run the slider line almost, and there's that middle of the track again. The moisture is there, so watch that come into play.
Cardwell continues to rip the lip all the way around the Cedar Lake Speedway. He's looked very fast on the high side. The Cardwell family really as a whole comfortable up there, and he's done a great job of pushing the cushion all the way up to the concrete here in the new Richmond speed plan. He's out in front of Blake Majulis. Jacob Fields currently in third. Cole Henriksen in fourth. Corey Whitworth, Evan C. do battle He's going to 2 for 1 as looks like Hendrickson gets into the wall. Those VLR and Full Throttle Performance teammates, compatriots, whatever you want to call them, doing battle now for 4th. Evan C. on his way to the front.
Evan C. already up 6 spots. He started in 10th. He's up 6 spots right now, and he's looking for more as he's coming for Jacob Fields and even possibly Blake Majulis.
C struggling a little bit in his heat race, not having the run he wanted, dropping to 2nd position, which says a lot about the type of driver that Evan C. has been here in the World of Thunder. He drops to 2nd in his heat races, had to overcome that track position. Now going to have to overcome a rapidly fading racetrack here as we close in on halfway. Cedar Lake's still very racy, but it's going to be hard for him to close the gap now open between himself and Jacob Fields without a caution flag.
And now you see where this track state is. This is where you separate the men from the boys, because the more veteran drivers will know how to compete with the slick track. As you see Majulis, Seed, Fields, Cardwell, they're all going to know where to run, not to upset their car. As you see the 17, it looks like getting in the wall there. They're 4 wide now.
4 wide down the back straightaway. Benji Killian going to go to the inside. Fitz and Whitworth going to get together into turn 3. Devin and Whitworth going to get together in turns 3 and 4. Ethan Toder going to sneak into the top 10. He's already won 1 feature tonight. He's on his way to the front now in this one as well, but he's got a long way to go and a shortening time to get there. We close in on halfway. There you see the 17 of Logan Rourke still holding on to a top 10 position as well, Alex.
Ethan Toder up 8 spots, as you see also in 14th right now. Jerry Flippo, who had to come through a C and a B, he is up 8 spots as well in the 14th right now, and he's still looking to battle as well for some more spots.
Flippo going to look to the low line, or excuse me, Toder going to look to the low line inside of Cole Hendrickson for 8th. It looks like he's going to have the spot. He's going to follow Trevor Fitz around the middle of turns 3 and 4 and look to the inside of Logan Rourke for 7th. The 23 machine really coming to life here in the late to mid stages of this heat race. He's looking very fast on his way again to the front, up now 9 spots.
Ethan Toder, like you said, guaranteed a win already, and he got it done. Now he's looking to even just get a top 5, because imagine first 2 races of championships and you go win and a top 5 finish, especially in the massive field that we have tonight. That's a pretty good night, especially for a track that nobody has really the experience yet.
Absolutely, and the relatively fresh racetrack, Cedar Lake only being released a little less than a week ago or so, is definitely maybe leveling the playing field and letting some of these guys have these kinds of run. You see Benji Killian up there in 5th. Trevor Fitz going to have his hands full with Ethan Toder. They're side by side. Logan Rourke trying to poke his nose back in there. Toder going to keep looking to the low side of Fitz. That is your battle for 6th. Benji Killian in 5th. The top 4 are gone, ladies and gentlemen. Davin Cardwell continuing to lead as Blake Majulis has started to catch up and close that gap. Only about 3 car lengths. We've worked past halfway. It'll be 29 of 50 this time by.
Davin Cardwell still running that top side. As you see, Majulis now gradually kept going down. Now he's back down to the bottom again, as that slider line still in handy right now. As you see, both of them have run the slider line in 3 and 4, but Majulis went to the bottom there, I guess, to test some waters. But Evan C. now caught up to Jacob Fields, and now that battle for 3rd is heating up.
Yes, we hope this one stays green. 20 to go. Evan C. going to slide up the racetrack. Fields going to brush the concrete in turn 3 and 4. Battle for the lead ensuing. Battle for 3rd place is on right now. Evan C. going to push Fields up the racetrack just a little bit. Still leaves him a lane, but C is clear. C is on to the podium. He's into the bronze medal spot. Davin Cardwell now has his hands even more full with Blake Majulis as they run down into turn 1. Blake Majulis on the bottom. Cardwell on the top. It's a difference in philosophy. Majulis going to roll the bottom in turn 3. Cardwell going to take the slider line away from him. That's what Majulis runs. They are really mirroring each other. Looks like a tandem drifting event the way these guys are driving right now.
And you see Dylan Thomas has now pulled off the track, so his night is done. But lap traffic is getting ready to come into play for these guys. If this stays green, imagine the lap traffic with UC Cantillo, Taylor, Austin, all right there in the views of Cardwell and Majulis. So now the battle is going to heat up, especially for this lead, when the lap cars start getting in the way.
Absolutely. Majulis continuing to work in the hip pocket of Cardwell. We keep your eyes peeled as we come to 15 to go this time by. Slider serve from Majulis. The White Castle open for business, but he clips the wall. Cardwell cuts down. He's going to get the line and open up about a car length lead as they work into turn 3. Majulis goes to the bottom again, slides up the racetrack. We'll see if there's no contact so far. Cardwell had a little contact with Ethan Toder. They exchanged slide jobs, parked it on each other's nose. It was a real battle. For the lead that Davin Cardwell came out on the short side of earlier. We'll see if he has to deal with the same from Majulis as we keep closing in on 10 to go. Another car pulls off the racetrack. That's Ryder Cantillo. This battle for the lead rages on.
As you notice, I think more and more cars are seeing these leaders coming up on their tail, and they make the smart driver move of pulling in and calling it a night, because you don't want to be the one to cost one of these drivers a win. As you see, Majulis makes a driver error. That's going to cost him some time. Cardwell now going to run that slider line. That slider line is still deadly. You see how much moisture, but look at Ethan Toder. He is up 10 spots into that 7th spot, and he is battling for more with Trevor Fitz, James Grace, and look how bunched up the rest of the field is compared to Evan C., Majulis, Fields, and Cardwell all pulling away.
You see Toder get into the back of Benji Killian there in the 75 machine. Yellow flag going to come out, and Trevor Fitz going to pull up into 4th spot, I believe, maybe 5th spot. We go to our Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay. You saw this happen live. I think Ethan Toder may be a little frustrated back there. Trevor Fitz, obviously, a little faster, I think, than the 75 machine, and maybe some mistakes in the slick from Killian, and Ethan Toder just feeds him a little bit of the nose of that number 23 machine, and around he goes. So we look overhead, another drone shot from our cameras here, Brett Wheeler, and you can see Toder and Fitz just carrying a ton of momentum through the corner. And I don't think Toder wanted to lift there, and unfortunately Benji Killian not as effective through turns 1 and 2, and that's going to bring out an Ultimate Dirt TV caution flag. Not sure where Alex Robinson has vanished to. He's with me. I am Zach Newton. We are 10 to go in the second feature of Part 1 of Championship Sunday. Again, due to some real-life obligations with work and stuff, we are splitting Championship Sunday. So you will see the Mimi's Makings in Motion Super Late Model Dirt Series next week, as well as the Warrior Logistics Open Pro Late Models next week to conclude your World of Thunder season. One extra week tacked on to the end of the season. Davin Cardwell has led every lap so far, but Blake Majulis is beating on his door. But this caution flag is going to put Evan C. back up there. Jacob Fields in 4th, Toder in 5th, Trevor Fitz in 5th, Ethan Toder in 6th.
Because I was actually sorry, I had a little bit of a cough there. And also I was looking to see, as you see, race control is going to let Ethan Toder keep his spots, as that was one of those calls that it's always a questionable call to see if they put him to the back. But as you see, Ethan Toder will hold on to his spot there, and he will stay in the top 10.
Absolutely. Currently holding on to 6th position, has been battling with Trevor Fitz. You've seen a great show from those two so far. We're going to see a great show here with 10 laps to go. No, it looks like they are going to give Toder the EOL. He is going to go to the end of the longest line, back to 15th position, back there with Benji Killian, and we're going to bunch the field back up. So James Grace is going to slide up into 6th spot. Yeah, Ethan Toder back nearly to where he started after he had picked up all those positions. But Davin Cardwell, Evan C., Blake Majulis going to be the battle to watch here.
And man, I mentioned Ethan Toder, and I apparently jinxed him to go back to the back now.
Yeah, the reason we haven't picked anybody on Championship Sunday is because anybody Alex picks, automatically the car might as well just blow up. You know, it's just catastrophic. So we didn't let Alex pick anybody, and Brett and I didn't pick anybody because Brett picking Blake Majulis all year. So Brett Wheeler going to win the Prognosticators Championship in the Grace Productions UMP Modified, and he might get another race here as Cardwell going to hold off a challenge from Majulis through 1 and 2. Majulis gets to the inside. Cardwell might have brushed the wall off of turn 2. Evan C. back there watching this rage on as Cardwell clips concrete. Majulis to the outside. Battle is on for the lead inside of 10 to go.
And you see they're almost 3 wide. They are 3 wide for the lead as you see Evan C. trying to make a run right now. Majulis going to throw the slider on a Davin Cardwell. You see it's 3 wide again. Out of the turn, Majulis going to have them both at the line. But Evan C., Davin Cardwell, the battle for the lead. A 3-car battle. It's heating up right now as you saw. C takes over second with Cardwell now side by side.
Cardwell goes from the lead on the restart all the way back to nearly in third as Evan C. has figured out how to roll the bottom here on a slick Cedar Lake Speedway. He is looking very fast around the bottom. Gets a great run off the low side of 2 to numbers deep on Cardwell. Majulis now leading. Davin Cardwell in second, Evan C. in third.
Blake Majulis, after taking over the lead, he is running that top side. He is right in the way of Cardwell. Cardwell's going to have to go down and take Evan C's line if he wants to take this lead, because Majulis is holding that top side, and they're both still running the slider. As you see, Evan C just holds the middle in that turn.
Evan C. with that middle line locked down. Jacob Fields on the outside of this podium battle looking in. Is now C going to pull in on Cardwell. Cardwell going to lose a little ground, and Majulis down the back straightaway. Majulis slides up the racetrack, takes Cardwell with him. They work off 4 to go this time by 5 to go right now. Lap 46 of 50. 50 is the distance. Davin Cardwell makes a mistake there, loses more ground. Blake Majulis, who's up by 4 car lengths now, over Cardwell. Evan C. going to look through the middle of the racetrack. Short slider from C pushes up the racetrack as Davin Cardwell continues to run the top side, but that 70 machine is fading.
Davin Cardwell, as you see, he keeps tapping the wall. That's going to keep costing him some time. And you see with C right behind him, it's costing both of them time behind Majulis. Majulis still out in front. Evan C. is the only man, and you see now everyone's looking at C. C's running the bottom, and everyone's thinking, oh, it's time to go there because it's time to try and challenge these leaders. With Majulis out in front, C and Cardwell, that's 3 and 2, sorry. And then Fields and Fitz, that's your top 5.
Blake Majulis going to lead the field off of turn 2, trying to protect a feature win. He's already got a championship wrapped up. Davin Cardwell looks to the middle of the racetrack. They both slide up. Cardwell closes in just a little bit. The battle is on. White flag is out. Majulis around the high side. Cardwell with him. Evan C. unfortunately out of puncher's distance unless he gets the mother of all runs off of turn 2. He doesn't. Majulis going to wisely take away the slider line. Cardwell going to try to roll the bottom. Can he get off of turn 4? He cannot. Blake Majulis wins the championship and Championship Sunday's feature. He is your winner at Cedar Lake. Cardwell in second, Evan C. in third, Jacob Fields and Trevor Fitz round out a D1RT dominated top 5. So we go to your official results here in this one. It is Blake Majulis there doing the donuts, not just of another feature win, but of a championship. Davin Cardwell in second, Evan C. third, Jacob Fields and Trevor Fitz, the rest of your top 5.
James Grace, Jerry Flippo, Clay Debin, Logan Rourke, and Benji Killian, that's your top 10.
Ethan Toder gets 4 spots back after getting the EOL and getting sent to the back of the pack for his encounter with Benji Killian. He comes home in 11th. Cole Henriksen, Josh Taylor, Corey Austin, and John Ruggiero Jr. Ruggiero, the first car off the lead lap, 10 laps down to 15th.
Ryder Cantillo, that's your 16th. Dylan Thomas, Corey Whitworth, Jordan Mitchell, Mike Augustine, that's your top 20. And then Brandon Weeks and Hunter Parsons, that's your 22 cars for that feature field.
You see Majulis with the Alan Kowicki victory laps around Cedar Lake. We will take a brief pause for commercial while we walk down from the tower to Victory Lane here at Cedar Lake. We'll be back with post-race coverage of the Grace Productions UMP Modified Series, part of World of Thunder Esports League Super Sunday on Ultimate Dirt TV right after this. Back for post-race coverage of the Grace Productions UMP Modified Series, part of the World of Thunder Esports League Super Sunday Championship Sunday edition. Blake Majulis with me in Victory Lane. And Blake, you wrap up a feature win after a hard-fought battle with Davin Cardwell. You wrapped up a series championship before you, with a heat race win earlier. You got to feel pretty good about tonight.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely knowing it's the last week here, didn't even really worry about points. Just kind of just wanted to come here and win, or try our best at least, and tried to build a setup this morning a little bit, and I felt like it was all right. Definitely better when it got slick. Davin was flying early in that race with about 25 to go there. I felt my stuff starting to come in, and I think I would have been really good through the middle, maybe like 10 more laps. It would have slickened up to lock down through the middle and would have been interesting to race through that, but definitely a good night. Can't ask for much better.
Yeah, tough to argue with that. You get a feature win. You lock up another World of Thunder championship win. Congratulations on all that success. Of course, the abbreviated championship Sunday schedule means you've got to wait a week to go for a super late model title. You're definitely in contention there, though. Any sponsors you want to thank for all the success you've had in the World of Thunder this season?
Thankful for you guys taking all your time to do this every week, and Steve for putting on the series as well. D1RT Racing, Sim Seats, ML Performance, Matt Logan. He does a lot for me as well. Folds Graphics for the sweet wrap. Bighorn Taxidermy, swag wraps and graphics. ShopFergie22.com. Ultimate Dirt TV. You, Zach, for everything you guys do. You guys support me a lot, so I appreciate everything you guys do up here.
So Blake Majulis, your champion and feature winner this evening. He's going to go back to the hauler, celebrate a little bit more as Alex Robinson catches up with our second place finisher, Davin Cardwell.
Davin, another good race for you here. Another close one for victory, but you got to take what you get. Another podium finish, another second place podium finish. Not a bad night.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was a really good night. To try to hold off one of the best on the sim for 50 laps. It was definitely hard, but came up a little bit short, but it was still better yet. Fun, good race.
Now, you really ran into a slick track. What was the game plan there on that last restart when it was just black almost all around this racetrack? What was the plan? What was your fast line to try and take away a win here?
Because the line that Blake was running right against the top in 1 and 2, then a little slotted line in 3 and 4, but kind of can't run it as hard as I wanted to because Blake was right in front of us, but it was still a fun race.
Well, who you got to thank? Who's on that car for another podium finish here tonight?
Thank Josh Taylor for getting this setup dialed in super late today. I got to thank you guys for broadcasting. I got to thank Drew Hopkins for everything he does. The team. I got to thank Keltner Contracting, Bighorn Taxidermy, and Steve for putting the league on.
Well, that is your second place finisher, Davin Cardwell.
So that's Davin Cardwell, your runner-up. Our final podium finisher, the 33 of Chesney, South Carolina's Evan C. And Evan, you were on a rail in the middle portion of that race, starting a little deep in the field after your heat race. You put on a show getting to the front, man.
Just kind of made a mistake there in the heat, and that cost us like 5 positions there. Starting P10. I just haven't ran this track in UMPs, so I just kind of threw a slick setup that I kind of thought would have some good bite, and I knew it was going to be tough to pass up top, so I just was kind of hoping that I could pick off some cars rolling that bottom there, and I was able to do that, hitting the bottom, a couple guys making mistakes up top and getting jumbled up definitely helped me out, make some of those positions up. But I felt pretty good down there, once I got in the third. I don't know if I could have gotten to the lead, though. As long as kind of Davin and Blake stayed nose to tail there, it's going to be hard to pass them. So, congratulations both of them. They were pretty fast, but we're definitely taking third place here after starting P10.
Absolutely, you've had a pretty good weekend, winning the Power I, the big midget race at Fairbury last night. You come in here in the modifieds again. You make that little mistake in your heat race, but you definitely gave the fans something to watch. We definitely saw that the bottom at Cedar Lake is not like some of the other tracks on the iRacing service. You can get down there and run quick. You've had a good World of Thunder season. We'll see you back next week for part 2 of Championship Sunday. Of course, anybody else you want to thank, any sponsors on that number 33 machine?
Just got to thank all the guys at Team VLR, FTP, Jeff Brown at Iris and iFlag, Jim Emery Next Soul Designs for the paints, Kevin Dedman, his band Dirty Grass Soul, McConey Setup Shop, Captain Morgan, shopfergie.com, and just thank y'all for doing the broadcast and Steven for putting on the series for us.
Absolutely. Evan C. comes home in 3rd. Great season for him. Blake Majulis, your winner tonight and champion. We will get out of here. We'll see you back next week for part 2 of Championship Sunday. For Alex Robinson and Brett Wheeler in the production truck, I am Zach Newton. Again, Blake Majulis, your winner tonight and champion. We'll see you next week. It's part 2 of Championship Sunday for the World of Thunder only on Ultimate Dirt TV. Be safe. We'll see you back here Sunday.